right, hello and welcome back to the Talking Aussie Hoops podcast. Got another guest in today, a very special guest. For those of you that don't know, I used to do a bit of commentating for Diamond Valley in the NBL 1, and my favourite games to commentate each season was against Eltham. And one of the reasons why is you knew you could get a big call and a loud call when the guy who we've got right now could just throw down and absolutely dunk the basketball like not many others can do it. Without further ado, we have Josh Sykes. How you doing, mate?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm very good. Very glad to have you on. We're gonna touch on a few different things. Obviously, how you've gotten into basketball, and then just obviously going over the NBL 1 South Championship that just happened a few weeks ago. So, just getting started. Obviously, growing up in California in the USA, why did you choose basketball over football or over baseball or anything like that? Why basketball?
Um, my dad played basketball throughout
Yeah.
his whole career, from middle school on to college and professional. So I pretty much followed his footsteps. Um,
Yep.
I did have a choice of playing like American football or playing basketball. Um, Injury wise, it was smart. The
Yeah.
love for the game, I'd say it's smart. I love the game of basketball, but I also love the game of football, the physicality in football. I love to be bumped for some reason. I love to be
Yeah.
aggressive.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people, I feel like they grow up playing basketball in Australia. They also play, obviously, Aussie rules, AFL.
Mm.
So, yeah, I see very much where you come from that. Obviously, growing up in California, I'm assuming you're a big NBA guy. So, I'm just wondering, who did you go for growing up?
I'm on the other side actually. I'm on the East Coast side.
Oh, yeah.
Weird enough, yeah. I love the Brooklyn Nets.
Oh, yeah.
Um, Way on the other side of the country. So, but yeah, I became a Brooklyn Nets fan back in 2003.
Yeah.
My first game I would have watched was against them versus Sacramento Kings. So
Yeah.
that was actually pretty awesome to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, and yeah, a question I've got for you. So obviously you're 6'8", is that correct?
6'9". Give me
Six
my.
nine. Some of
I'm
the
six.
websites are doing you dirty.
I know, man. I'm 6'8" and 3/4, but
Yeah,
you got to round it up, of
you
course.
have to round up.
Yeah, of course, of
No,
course.
that's fair. That's fair. So obviously 6'9". Have you always been pretty tall, or did you kind of have like a growth spurt during high school or college?
I did have a growth spurt during high school. I want to say probably like 6'2" at freshman year.
Yeah,
And then just over time, it was always like 2, maybe 3 inches. And so I was just like, not in much pain, but I did have a lot of growth spurts, and I was always like just sleeping towards that time. So I didn't really feel the pains, which was nice.
yeah, absolutely. No, when I was growing up playing basketball, so I was huge compared to everyone else. I was like 6'1", 6'2", when I was like 12 years old. So I was just towering over everyone, but then I just stopped growing from there and everyone else has gone up. But we won't get into me. My question for you, so obviously being Fresno City College,
Yeah.
what was that like in the college life in the US?
Honestly, junior college is pretty tough. Everyone's out to battle to go get a scholarship, D1 scholarship, or a 4-year scholarship.
Yep.
So everyone's just competing, trying to battle, trying to get into your face and do anything you can. It is a rough life. I don't know if you've seen like that Netflix show where they had
MSU,
the
that one?
junior, yeah.
Yeah.
That is pretty much how an experience of like a junior college in California would be. Um, and I like my college coach was absolutely crazy. Like he he would rip it into you like no other. He would try to break you down. Honestly, I think it for the long run it helped me out a lot.
Yeah.
But in the moment, I was young, dumb, and then ready to like react as soon as he reacted too. So, but it helped me in the long run. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like I still remember watching that show for the first time. You see Coach Mosley, I think it was. It was a psycho, it felt like. So
Yeah.
that was something similar to kind of what you went through?
Oh yeah, definitely. It
Yeah.
was it was a battle over there at Fresno City, but like that was why my coach was pretty successful. He had like 15 15 years in a row he won the league, and he would have a couple championships too under his belt. So
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, if you were, 6'9" or so, obviously we're at Fresno City College, you're always playing power forward or center. What was your position?
yeah, I would play the power forward. I would play the center. I'm more of a power forward guy. I can't. I'm not a slow big man. I'm a athletic one that likes to slash. So I I'd much rather play in the power forward position.
Yeah.
But I'm able to do both. Like I'm pretty versatile in that aspect. So I'm able to do both, and I have no complaints about it either way.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if you've heard like kind of in the news over the last few years, it's like Anthony Davis has always wanted to be known as 6'11" rather than 7 foot, so
Yeah,
he's that power forward instead of center.
exactly.
Obviously he plays the center now, but he's probably at his best at the power forward. But yeah, going to obviously you touched on your college. Why move to Australia?
Uh, I've always actually was very interested in coming to Australia.
Yeah,
So back in 2018, I got a call from Trevor Lee, the head coach over there at Diamond Valley.
yeah.
He was our head coach for Eltham, for Big B Eltham.
Oh yeah,
Um, and yeah, and so he gave me a call because of a guy that we had connected with. And then I met him out there in LA. Um, and we hit it off ever since, and it's been great. And I'm glad he brought me over here because over there because like I love it there. Like that's like second home to me now. So it's pretty nice.
yeah. What are some like similarities and differences between the US and Australia? Like it's funny, I was chatting to a guy the other day. Just even like simple things like coffee prices and everything like that are a bit different. Like, do you have any like differences or anything in just
Uh,
daily life in being in Australia?
just like the meal size and the coffee size, like
Yeah,
it's, those two things are pretty huge for me. I'd say I love to eat, and now that I've been in Melbourne, I love a coffee. So
yeah,
I I was just telling somebody I think I became more of a coffee addict when I got to Australia and said, you know what, I actually love coffee, but
yeah.
it's good though. It's good for your
Y-
soul.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously you've been with Eltham for the last 5 or so years now. What is it about the club itself that's made it like your home, for the moment?
I would say, my team, of course. My team, it means everything to me. Like we're very close with each other. One of the guys, our captain Sam Whelan, he was probably one of the main guys that actually helped me get, you know, closer with the team and build the culture with the team,
Yeah,
and then build the culture throughout all of Australia. Because that's a guy I love, man. That's like a brother to me. So the culture there is very amazing, and at Eltham you can't find it anywhere else. And that's why I keep going back because it's just lovely over there. You get like the fans that you love, the office upstairs. That's great. Like I have no complaints with the office ever.
yeah,
So and I have a fun time with them. They seem like family to me, I would say. So
yeah.
everything else is just pretty easy while I'm there.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I've noticed just from watching NBL One South games, and even when I've commentated for Diamond Valley, like you guys are just able to bring out. I've noticed a lot of kids come to your games.
Yeah.
It's not just people my age and a bit older. You guys got a lot of kids coming to your games, but it's really cool because Eltham, even just growing up, around here, Eltham are one of the biggest clubs out there. Like in
Mm.
regards to domestic leagues, like I was chatting to like a family a few weeks ago, and like just their under 12s, like boys or girls team, they had like about 30 domestic teams. Like it's absolutely huge club.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, how do you find like just playing in front of a lot of fans and everything week in and week out?
Oh man, it's lovely. I love the atmosphere in the gym.
Mm,
Me personally, if I had a a pick, I would want the fans to be just as close as what we were at Eltham High School. It was just like right behind us. It felt like you
yeah,
were on top of the players. Um, but yeah, like it's amazing just playing to get like playing in front of the fans that come in day out to our games all the time,
Mm.
and then just helping us celebrate after a win. You know, they come onto the court, we sign stuff for them, and I actually have a good chat with some of the kids all the time
Yeah,
in
good.
those huddles. But yeah, it's very family orientated over there, and we love the kids out there. So, and then they
Yeah,
also bring the
absolutely.
energy to the games too. So, I love
Yeah,
how
they're
I
always
love
really
how
loud.
it's yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just going through obviously Eltham obviously used to run out of Eltham High School. Now you guys are running out of Montmorency at the college. What are your thoughts on the new upgrade to the court there?
Oh, that's a lovely stadium. The best
Yeah.
stadium in NBL One South, I'd say. Um,
Yeah, no, it absolutely. So I finished playing like junior rep like 2 years ago, and my very last game of rep was against Eltham on that Montmorency on the main court.
mm.
God, it's a very good court. It's so nice.
I love it. I
Very
love
very
it.
good. Yeah. Yeah. So obviously, not this season just happened. The one before, guys obviously lost to get into the championship game against Knox. What was different from last season compared to this season that ultimately resulted in a championship?
Last season we had a great group of guys who we could have went all the way through with. That's for sure. Um, but you know, things just don't happen our way at times, and you know, the game doesn't end up in the position that we wanted to be in.
Yeah.
But you know, like after the Knox game, we had one thing in mind, and that was to win the championship. So like it was very important to us this season to go ahead and do that because we knew we had to show everyone that we were capable of doing that, not just last year, but this year as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, just going through, like you mentioned how close you guys are as a team, but obviously with like touching on off the court, but also on the court, like the talent you guys have had with Owen Foxwell, Angus Glover, Sam Short, Ralph Bazainth, like it's a star-studded group. How do you like playing on the court with those guys?
Oh man, those guys are just so easy to play with. I I don't know. Like I have a sometimes when I go to other teams, I have not trouble reading guys and what they like, but it just isn't as the same with Sam Short, Angus Glover, Owen Foxwell. Like I just do exactly what they want every time, set them up to score or set them up to do something good for the offensive side. Um, and it makes my job easy because then I just have to set a screen and roll to the rim and see if they're going to throw it up for me. So um, but yeah, like I love playing with those guys. It's easy. I know them like the back of my hand now. So like the culture over there is just like very well put together. So
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely, it looks like that. Obviously, I would assume in regards to following the NBL, I'm assuming you'd be a Southeast Melbourne fan with Angus Glover and Owen Foxwell.
absolutely. I need two jerseys and I need both of those jerseys.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Speaking on Angus Glover, obviously in the prelim game, he hit a massive three-pointer over Frankston. Describe that moment because that like was just
Unreal.
watching that.
Well, look, I was actually headed to to the short corner. I went to go set a screen because I knew eventually he would want one, but he waved me off. I don't know if you saw that. He waved me off, and I said, "All right, here you go." I gave him his space, and so I knew there was only one thing on my mind was crash the glass, go
Yeah,
get the rebound, and I was actually being boxed out for a bit. I'm not sure who it was. I think it might have been Dan Trist or someone
yeah,
boxing me out, and I saw it go in and I couldn't believe it. I was struck, like I was very stuck about, how that shot went through, how we are about to win this game right now.
mm,
Um, and then also like the we weren't sure if the clock ran out of time or if,
yeah,
the second. So I needed to play that next play. But then as soon as I knew like, oh, like we won, and I was
yeah.
celebrating. I was very happy that we got into the championship. So We locked
Yeah,
in for the
absolutely.
next
It felt like when Glover made that shot, it's almost like he started walking off and he's like, he kind of looked a bit puzzled. Like he didn't really celebrate straight away. So I see what you mean. Like, it was like, hang on, like time wise, is that good? But then in the game before that against Casey, you had an absolute unreal play to finish off that one, a reverse alley oop dunk to finish. Was that the game before or a few games before?
Oh, that was. Oh, you're talking about Geelong.
Oh, Geelong, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. Yeah, the Geelong one, the reverse
That,
dunk.
yeah, that was unreal. Just like my question to you, like I've look, I can dunk the ball, I'll say, kind of consistently, but like just barely get it in. What's it like just being able to do that? Like reverse, like jam like that. What's that like?
I mean, I love flying, so that's the thing. Like, you get up in the air and you're just like, like no one's really able to do this as much as you can. So I
Yeah.
just always take appreciation for a dunk. Um,
Mm.
but it was incredible how, like I just saw Sam Short just split the guys and then just head straight for the basket, and no one was next to me. So I was like,
Mm.
all right, here we go. We gotta do something. And he threw it up, and I was like, oh, it's time to do this. So the dunk
Yeah,
was
no,
massive. Had so much energy afterwards. I was just like, I'm ready to win. So
I could only imagine what that's like the energy of throwing that down. But yeah, you've had some amazing dunks over the course of your career. Is there one that kind of like sticks out to you as like your favorite one?
they're all my favorite, honestly.
Yeah,
Um, but I don't know. I haven't really gotten to that point of what dunk would be my favorite. Because I know, like, if I say one of the dunks would be my favorite, I'm pretty sure my point guard would be pretty mad at me because it could be, I had an import first year 2018, Illy Bonham. Um, I had Adam Doyle, and now I have Sam Short. Like, I'm pretty sure those guys would be mad if I choose one over the other. But
yeah,
that alley oop dunk that Sam Short threw me is pretty massive.
yeah, 100%.
Mhm.
And then yeah, obviously going into your grand final against Ballarat, you guys obviously do it, win the championship. What was that game like?
That was a huge game. I'm pretty sure we were nervous in the first quarter. If you saw the
Mm,
first quarter, but Strat always make sure we're prepared for each game, and we're well prepared every time. Um, he said it best that it was going to come down to their offense versus our defense.
yeah,
Um, and honestly, I think that was completely true. Like, all we had to do was just play well defense. You saw Rudolph didn't miss a mid
yeah,
range. Like, that was massive from him. That was a massive game from him. Shout out to him for that because he hit every shot over my hand. And that's a hard shot. Um,
yeah. He ended up like 32 points or something like that,
yeah,
right? It
yeah,
was something
man.
crazy.
And so I was just like, wow, that's insane. But yeah, like that game, we were just well prepared. If we had our defense going, um, and that was how we were gonna win. So
Mm. In that first quarter, you said you guys came out a bit nervous. You guys were down like double digits at one point in that first quarter, I believe.
yeah.
What's it like, in so obviously it's the biggest game of the season. What's it like with all the pressure on you like that? I know it was still early on in the game, but what's it like playing against like such a immense amount of pressure?
Um, that's what a lot of our guys are built for. Angus Glover, when he was with Sydney Kings, he can
Mm.
do it. He was already like he was already wanting that big atmosphere. He was
Yeah.
known of it. Like, that big stadium, he was going to put on his light and shine bright with it. So,
Yeah.
um, and Owen Foxwell, just like in the beginning, I get it, have a little bit of butterflies, but he shook it off and scored a massive amount of points for us as well. It took over the game. My favorite play in
Mm.
that game was when he pointed at his coach, at his
Yeah.
Phoenix assistant coach while he was there. So I was like, yeah, I love that. Foxy's back.
Yeah. 100%. Speaking of Owen Foxwell, it's like in the NBL, he's emerged the last couple of years, as your defensive first guard. He's always up there, top five leading the league in steals. But what do you reckon it is about NBL one that gives him the opportunity to really shine offensively?
I think um, I don't like to say this, but I think he's got a longer leash in NBL
Yeah,
one. He's able to do more things, show who he actually is.
yeah.
He's a spectacular guard.
Mm,
Uh, he can create his shots very well on his own if he wants to. And he does those things that he has to do to win a game. So I I, I think he just has a longer leash in NBL one, and if he had a longer leash in NBL, he'd be showing the same thing.
mm.
Mm.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, the crazy thing about Owen Foxwell is that I feel that there's another two Foxwells coming on with Austin and Owen. I played against Owen. What's the other one?
Joel,
Austin.
Joel,
Joel. Sorry,
yeah,
just flipped my head. I
hmm
played against Joel a few times, and he was unreal. He was a
yeah,
freak. He was good, and he's just signed with Melbourne United. So
yep.
um,
We played
yeah,
them.
really
We
cool
played them
opportunity
when
for him.
we played them because he played for Sandy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
yeah. So he actually killed us that first game, and then the second game we shut him down. We made sure Owen wasn't giving him any scoops before the game.
Yeah, 100%. It's funny, all the social medias based on hoops everything. They've always been hyping up the Foxhole matchups. It's
Oh
always it's
yeah,
always good fun.
yeah. I love it.
Then yeah, back onto Angus Glover. Obviously, finals MVP. The amount of like threes that he hit in those last two or so games. The Frankston one, obviously the Ballarat one. Yeah, what's it like playing with someone like that?
I appreciate it a lot for him because if I'm gonna give him the ball, he better make a shot. You know,
Yeah,
he tells me to do some things, and I tell him make a shot. So
yeah,
it's a very appreciated. I was playing a pickup basketball game, and I kind of play the same way while I'm playing pickup basketball. So I'm
yeah.
handing off and setting screens and doing all that. So if I'm setting a good screen and he's good for a shot, they better make the shot. So now I'm spoiled because Angus Glover's just hitting, knocking down threes, and
Yeah.
man, it's pretty nice when you have a guy like that just catching fire.
100%, 100%. So obviously you guys win NBL One South Division. What's next for you guys? You reckon back to back national championship? What's next for you guys?
Oh, of course, we have to go back to back. We need to own that title a little bit
Yeah,
longer. Um, yeah, and maybe nationals again if that's the case. This time we'll probably go a little bit deeper in nationals.
mm,
We don't want Knox to win it anymore.
yeah,
So we're gonna be a little bit more competitive next year. We're not gonna be celebrating that South Championship anymore. After that, we have that back to back. So we'll be able to go and play and get a national ring this time.
absolutely. And what's next for you in this off season? Like, are you playing elsewhere before the start of next season?
I haven't signed any contracts yet. Um,
Yeah,
I've wanted to be home for a bit.
yeah,
I've been away from home for a little too long, so I wanted to be home for a bit, relax a little bit, um,
yeah,
maybe even do some other stuff basketball wise. But I'm looking to just better myself for the next NBL one season. Actually, I got some things to work on, so we'll put that
yeah.
back into play.
100%. I saw just checking up your stats just before coming on this season. You only took 1 3, but it went in
Yeah,
100% from the 3-point line. How does
100.
that sound?
You know what? I keep telling Angus Glover I'm the best 3-point shooter on the team, man.
You can't beat 100%.
No, you can't beat 100%.
Exactly. Yeah. Last off season, you played elsewhere. I can't remember exactly what team you played for.
I was in Lyon in France, so I
Yep,
was
France.
playing for
That's right.
Lyon.
Yep,
So
France. How was that playing over there?
yeah, I really loved it actually. The physicality over there was more intense than NBL one. Um, they have a lot of athletes too, but I would
Yep.
say it's just like the physicality was like. Oh, I was playing the 5-man over there too, so
Yep.
just banging bodies that whole time. It was very tough, um, and a lovely place to play. Can't go wrong when
Mm.
you're playing in France. So
Yeah, absolutely. My question to you, just going off script a bit here. Um, Obviously, when you play over in an international country like that, that's not, you know, it's not English speaking necessarily. How do you find that? Like,
um, I do have a lot of teammates who do speak English, but
yeah,
they they do have a struggle with it.
yeah,
But they also want to learn English too. If they're not good
yeah,
at English,
okay,
they would want to learn English.
yeah,
But I also try to involve myself with learning their language too,
yeah,
so I can pick things up like little things because you're not going to be around your teammates all the time to help you
mm,
out. So you got to figure out how to get around where you're at. So
yeah,
I just try to learn a few things and then maybe just like speak to them about it or keep become confident with it a little bit.
yeah, absolutely. All right, my last question for you. Obviously, you're a Brooklyn fan in the NBA, but do you have a championship prediction for this upcoming season?
Ooh, championship prediction. Um, you know what? I don't have one yet. Well, you know who I'll lead towards though. Just because they did really well last year was uh, OKC Thunder.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna do pretty well this year. They added that nice piece. So I think Ilya Alexander is gonna do very well this year, and I can't wait to
Mm.
see that actually.
Yeah, I mean, who'd they pick up? They got Caruso, they got Hartenstein. Yeah, I mean, they're going to be great. Up and coming team. First seed in the West. Yeah, just hopefully we get another champion. A champion that's not Boston.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't think it'll be Boston. Those guys are ran down.
Yeah, hopefully. All right, perfect, Josh. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Yeah, much appreciated. Wishing you and Eltham all the best for next season. We'll be tuning in. And yeah, thank you guys all for tuning into this episode. This is Talking Aussie Hoops. We'll see you for our next episode. Thank you.
Thank you.